band. Thank you, guys. Warming us up this morning. Good morning. How are you all? This very last Sunday of 2013. I'm so glad that you're here with us. I'm going to invite you to come on in and take your seats. We're going to be starting our service here soon. Welcome. Before I begin our announcements, I want to just take one moment to honor our practitioner that's holding the light for us today, Practitioner Ray Holder. I don't know where that came from. I just want to remind you that the practitioners are available for prayer for you anytime, any day of the week. It is our honor to pray with you and for you. You can receive prayer today at our prayer chapel right after service, right outside of the side doors here. Practitioners will be waiting for you. Or back in the corner where Ray is holding the light, there is a prayer chest. You can write a written prayer request and put it into the prayer chest, and the practitioners will pray for you for your request for several weeks. So please feel free to ask for prayer for whatever it is that you're called to want prayer for. I have just a few announcements today as we're coming to the end of the year. We have a few special things that we do at the end of every year. One of them is Dr. Tillotson's burning bowl ceremony on New Year's Eve. It's at 7 p.m. here. It's a wonderful time to come together and just release all that is ready to be released, and we burn it in a ceremony and welcome in the new year and set your intentions for the new year. So I invite you to become and be part of that on New Year's Eve. You're done, and then you can go out and enjoy your New Year's Eve out on the town. Also, Wednesday is January 1st, and Reverend Sunshine Day does our Wednesday evening service. This Wednesday, she's doing a special service. She's going to be leading everybody in visioning. She was trained by Dr. Michael Beckwith in visioning, and she's just well-versed in it, and she'll take you all through a visioning process so you can set your intentions again for the year ahead. So that's Wednesday night service, regular time, 7 o'clock here at Seaside. Education catalogs are in your program. You should have a blue education catalog in there. It's a time for our winter classes sign up. They start in a few weeks. The sign-ups are for the accredited classes are out right now, and the enrichment classes will be coming right behind. I just want to mention a couple of them. The first class to take, if you have not taken a Science of Mind class, is Foundations class. Dr. Christian teaches it 2 times a year. He teaches it in winter. He'll be starting in a few weeks. I believe it's the 14th. But I invite you to sign up for that class if you haven't taken a class yet. It's the introductory class. It's the foundation of new thought. It's a 10-week class, and it is the prerequisite for all other classes. So you take that one first. It's a wonderful opportunity to be in a small group with Dr. Christian, to get to know him a little bit better, and to learn our philosophy at a deeper level, and connect with like-minded individuals. We find that we tend to travel through the classes with that same group that we start Foundations with. So it's a nice time to bond with others of like mind. If you've taken Foundations already, then you have 2 choices. You have Reverend Tammy's Power of Your Word. That is a class where you learn more about spiritual mind treatment. You learn how to do a treatment. You learn more about the affirmative prayer that we use here and the power that your word does have. So that's on Monday evenings with Reverend Tammy, or Reverend Lori Sheets teaching Thursday evening this quarter, Spiritual Economics. It's a wonderful book by Eric Butterworth and just a fabulous class on prosperity. So those are your 3 choices. We also have enrichment classes that'll be rolling out throughout the next couple months. The one I want to mention right now is the Visioning Board workshop. It's a Sunday workshop. It is going to be on February 2nd this year, and it's a very popular workshop. We've been doing it for several years. Practitioner Sharon De Leon runs it. She'll be on the platform today. And so that sign-ups for that, February 2nd. We're also asking if you can bring magazines for that. So if you have any magazines, you're cleaning out your house for the new year, we've got a box back there. You can bring all kinds of magazines. So that's what's happening in education. More about that later. We have a wonderful year ahead of us with a program called Real Love. It's going to be thematic throughout a lot of our programs this year. Dr. Christian's talks, we'll be having sacred circles. We have all sorts of things around this program, and it's kicking off on January the 4th, and I'm going to call up 2 of our board members, Bill Seaman and Cindy Dietz, to talk to you a little bit more about it.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. So this coming Saturday kicks off a whole year's program along the lines of Dr. Greg Bear's principles that he outlines in his book, Real Love. These principles are life-changing. And just to give you just a teeny example, we had two members of our community, longtime members of our community, join Cindy and me at one of our Real Love groups. And here's what they said. One of them said, these principles have the power to change the world. And the other one said that science of mind teaches us how to pray, but it doesn't teach us how to love. It teaches us how to meditate, but sometimes we feel like we haven't been taught how to love. Well, these principles are precisely how to love in the way that God loves, which is unconditional. And so I was going to let Cindy tell you about our basically the seminar this Saturday.
Thanks. We'll have a guest speaker, Reverend James Peak. He's a reverend at Namaste Spiritual Growth Center in Long Beach. He started loving groups in Arizona when he attended the New Vision Spiritual Growth Center. So he's been around the Real Love for a long, long time. He'll be here introducing Real Love and answering questions for you. So we're really excited about this. Reverend Christian will start the 9 weeks of Real Love talks starting January 6th. And also we'll be forming the book study groups for Real Love. So the book is in the bookstore, so you can purchase it there. And we look forward to seeing you there. We'll have coffee, muffins, and fruit at 9 o'clock on the 4th. Thank you.
Two last things. First off, you can read the book, but if you read a book on strawberries, you would never know what a strawberry was until you experienced it. And that's what Saturday is. It's for leaders, anybody that have been any kind of leadership role here in our center. And the definition of a leader is anyone who participates in an organization above the level of simple execution of assigned tasks. So if you've done anything around here better than just taking orders, please come on Saturday. And we have flyers to hand out if you'd like more information. Helen Lipka will be in the back handing out those flyers after the service. Thank you all very much.
Yes, my fellow ministerial students are from the church in Arizona where James came from, and they just rave about the program and all it did to transform their lives in their churches. In fact, one of the gentlemen that's in ministerial school with me got the call to ministry through the Real Love Circles, so they're powerful. Also on January 4th, one last thing I want to remind you about is Reverend Fran is doing her Cancer Thrivers group. They are meeting Saturday at 10:30, so if that's something that calls to you or that's been part of your experience, please come and be part of that and be loved up. So with all of that love and stepping into this new year, I just invite you to please stand and greet your neighbor, and please remain standing for the congregational song.
Please remain standing. Time for our congregational song. Together this morning we're singing, How Can I Serve? How Can I Serve? All right, here we go. How can I serve today, sweet Spirit? How can I serve today? Oh Lord, speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where must I share today, sweet Spirit? Where must I share today? Oh Lord, speak in ways that that I may understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet spirit? Who needs my love today? Oh Lord, speak in ways that I may understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today? Oh Lord, speak in ways that I may understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go.
All right.
Good morning, Seaside. I'm Reverend Tammy Mars, the Executive Director here at Seaside. It's my honor to welcome you here today. I hope your Christmas was wonderful. I know New Year's is right around the corner. Great things are in store for all of us. I know that to be sure. Reverend Christian, our senior minister, if you're here for the first time today, our senior minister is Reverend Christian. He's in Montana on a respite. And so we have a wonderful day planned with a speaker that I know you're going to find exciting. We all got to experience it first service. You have a great day in store for you. That is our Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn. I'll tell you a little bit more about her in a little bit, but I just wanted to welcome you here. I'm glad that you're here doing this. I invite you to sit back, to open your entire being, to be present, to allow that flow that is flowing through this room in an abundant way to touch your heart, to heal your heart, to bring to you all those great and wonderful things. And to get this service started, I want to invite our master practitioner, Sharon De Leon.
So please join me into the stillness. So in this stillness that is always within me, I begin this day. I take a breath and I exhale and I let go and I let God. I let go of anything that it took to get me to be here in this moment. I let go of the busyness of my mind. I let go of all of the activities of this day, of this season, of this year. I take a breath and I let go. And I become fully present to this moment, the power of it, the presence of it. And I begin to remember, to recognize the power, and the presence that's at the very center of my life. And I rejoice. I rejoice, for this is the day that God hath made. I rejoice in the power of it, the love of it, the beauty of it, the order of it, the abundance of it, and the peace of it. I rejoice and I relax, for I know that everything has been given. Everything that I need in this moment, in this day, in this lifetime, has already been given. So I know that the activity that takes place right here, right now, is an acceptance of it, an allowing, a receiving. And so I receive this day. I receive this service and all that it contains. I receive the truth, and I am grateful. I'm grateful for this truth that is spoken here today through Reverend Tammy Mars and Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn. I'm grateful for each one here, for they have been called for this sacred appointment. And so I rejoice. I rejoice in the infinite potentiality of this moment, of this day. I rejoice, for this is the day that God hath made. And so it is.
Love is a never-ending circle, and there's room inside, enough for all of us. Open your arms up wide. Love is a never-ending circle. It goes on, and it goes on and on. It goes on and on. It goes on. Love is a never-ending circle, and there's room inside, enough for all of us. Open your arms up wide. It goes on.
Reverend Fran, you just make us feel good. Thank you, Reverend Fran. So, this is a very powerful teaching, the science of mind and spirit. It comes from our founder, Ernest Holmes, who put all this information together from the ancient wisdom and science and philosophy and all the religions, brought it all together in a methodology, if you will, for us to be able to use. Science of mind and spirit is just that. It's about the practical application, Ernest Holmes says. The practical application. So it's applying all of this ancient wisdom that we've heard about in so many ways. It's about applying it and using it in our lives. And as Ernest Holmes says, that science of mind is open at the top, for as we evolve, and we are always evolving, we become greater vessels to be that place for more and more wisdom to come forth. And each of us is that vessel to do that. So this is about the practical application. And so I know that today is filled with just that, all that information and all that wisdom and everything that's absolutely perfect for the expansion of more good into your life. So I'm glad that you're here sharing this with us today. And if this is your first time here at Seaside, welcome. I'm glad that you're here sharing it. I want to make you aware of a class. There's a class called The Basic Beliefs. It's the first Sunday of every month, which will be next week. It is held in the Emerson Room, which is a classroom right off the lobby. It's an hour, it's informal, and we give you a packet of this teaching and these principles. And it's an opportunity for you to ask questions and see how that you can integrate this deeper in your life. It's called Basic Beliefs, first Sunday of every month, and so that's next week. So plan on coming or bring your friends and come get your questions answered if you have questions. Also, if you're new, we have a welcome packet for you in the back. I invite you to stop by the welcome table. It has all kinds of coupons and little receipts or little fun little gifts for you as a thank you for being here today and sharing your light with us. So be sure to pick that up also. I wanted to make you aware there's a wonderful book in the bookstore. It's called The Joyous Living Journal. We've been following it all year long. It's written by Reverend Christian, our senior minister, and Reverend Dr. Petra Welds. And along with this book and one that he wrote a couple of years ago called The Joyous Freedom Journal. It is designed so that we start our day right. We can open it up. It starts with an affirmation. It has some quotes, and it has some just jewels of wisdom, so that when we start our day, we start open and unobstructed, so the flow is flowing good. So I invite you, if you do not have this book, to pick it up, and I am going to be doing our reading from it today on December 29th. So I invite you to take these words within. The quote is from Albert Schweitzer. The title of the reading today is Service as Joy. Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn's title of her talk today is The Rest is Still Unwritten. So the quote from Albert Schweitzer. I don't know what your destiny will be, but one thing I know. The only ones among you who will really be happy are those who will have sought and found how to serve. The reading goes on to say, the best way to stop being obsessed with your own life and concerns is to get involved in something outside of you. Service is one of the greatest gifts of love that you can give. It also is a way to shift your focus away from your own problems. Whether it is distributing gifts through a toy drive, helping the homeless, visiting an elderly relative, or caring for abandoned animals. Helping others is powerful therapy. There are so many ways to reach out of our own limited little worlds. During the holidays is a wonderful time to kickstart your focus on service. Being of service is also a powerful spiritual practice. Service reminds you of your connection with all beings. It puts you in right relationship with the world around you, reminding you that every being is part of the whole. Your service, your gift that you share, is a great act of love and a powerful statement in appreciation for our oneness. And so we just take those words within as I invite you to move into that sacred sanctuary within our own being, closing our eyes to this outside world and moving into the infinite. That place within us where all that God is. That place that has no obstruction, that flows freely, that is filled with more than we could ever imagine, that is overflowing with love and peace and joy and abundance and wholeness and well-being. It is at the center of our being. For God recreated itself and named it you, and placed you here at this very special time with your gifts and talents to go forth and be that place where the glory and the magnificence and the allness and the greatness of the divine can flow. And so it's with this truth and knowingness that I open my being, I sit back, I surrender, I move into that space of gratitude, and I watch with great awe of all the magnificence and all the good that is flowing all through and as and around me. Grateful to be that place, to be awake and aware. I simply let it be, and so it is. Amen.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? I heard an extra gong there. Did you? I thought I was supposed to go into the silence again. But you know, that'd be real hard for me. Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. I had an opportunity just a minute ago to look in the Rose Room where we have the video, the podcast, what Tim Griffin is videoing. And I want to tell you, Reverend Tammy had the most gorgeous face. I'm telling you, the most gorgeous. You guys have you all have your eyes closed, and you can't see that. But she's got her eyes closed, and I thought, whoa, man. So check out the podcast to see her face, would you? It was so No, I'm telling you, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. All right. Well, anyway, we have beautiful people on stage this morning. As you know, our great dear friends and our longtime friends are Nathan and Janice. Would you please give them a huge welcome? And look at their beautiful faces.
1, 2, 3, 4. I am unwritten, can't read my mind. I'm undefined. I'm just beginning. The pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins.
The rest is still unwritten. I break tradition. Sometimes my tries outside the lines. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes. But I can't live that way. Staring a blank page for you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that could not find you. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibition. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. This is where your book begins. For you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself with words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. That is where your book begins. Feel the rain on your skin. Yeah, no one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms.
book begins, the rest is still unwritten.
The rest is still unwritten.
Still unwritten.
Unwritten.
Live your life with arms wide open.
The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still
And that is Janice and Nathan. That's so awesome. That is great. So I have the honor of being able to introduce you to our newest member of our ministerial and ecclesiastical team, Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn. Yay. We're so excited that she's here. I just want to tell you a little bit about her. She's a longtime resident of San Diego. She lives in La Jolla. She's a mother of 2 and now a grandmother of twins that are 18 months old, a boy and a girl. So she's got a beautiful family that she's raised that's part of her world. And she had a church, many of you may know that. She had one of the largest churches in San Diego County for 15 years called Pacific Church of Religious Science. And it was down in Mission Valley, yes. She did great works for this teaching and spreading this teaching. She went on from there into an elected position of spiritual leader of the entire movement of Science of Mind and Spirit. She traveled the world as the spokeswoman for this powerful teaching, visiting so many places. She was a major part of history in bringing together the 2 groups of religious science, which is Religious Science International and United Centers for our United Church of Religious Science. It's hard to remember anymore, huh? Bringing them together, so now we are Centers for Spiritual Living. That was a huge job that she did. Thank you for all of that work and all that you did for us in that. And now she comes here to our School of Ministry, we're calling it now, which is the San Diego Regional School of Ministry. We've had this now in probably, I think, about 13 or 14 years. This regional center has sent out, I don't know the exact number, but I'm sure it's over 100 brand new ministers that have gone out into the world, reminding people of their divinity and making such a huge change. And now we have Reverend Kathy, which is absolutely perfect. She is the dean of the School of Ministry, and I know that there's about 40 students right now that are still in that school that are moving on up, and more that are on their way in. And what a blessing it is to be led and handheld as you walk through the School of Ministry, as you step into that deeper and deeper place of God is what it really is. So please give a very warm welcome to our magnificent, our wonderful, our beautiful Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn.
Thank you, Tammy. You're an amazing introducer. Thank you, darling. Love you. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you for the welcome. I appreciate it. I'm very happy to be part of the Seaside family. I always have been, but now it's really official. So yes, the talk today is The Rest is Still Unwritten, and I want to thank Nathan and Janice for singing the song by my request, yes. And, you know, we're here in the last Sunday of the last Sunday of the year. Let me have my mind clicking now, hold on. Last Sunday of the year, and we've just come through the holidays and the solstice time, and yet we're still feeling the pull of the dark and the call of the light, yes? And incrementally now, the light each day is going to increase a little bit, and it's going to be lifting our lives and ourselves and our planet in this hemisphere into the freshness of spring. Isn't that wonderful? So that's on its way, but not yet. Not yet. And so we're in this really interesting time where one cycle is completing, the cycle of 2013 is completing, and another cycle is beginning. And we're in that in-between space, standing at a threshold, and Joseph Campbell said thresholds are zones of magnified power. And so we have work to do today, and we're going to do some practices. We're going to complete with honoring the directions of the medicine wheel. And the whole intention of this work today is for you to let go of that which no longer serves you, and then to create an open space to make welcome what it is that's on its way to you. All right, the doors are locked, so no one's leaving till it's over. So in this work, our first job is to bless what has been. It is to bless and honor what has been up until this point, but especially this last year, and to let it be done. Let me say that again. Let it be done. And then we can open up a space for what we're ready to receive. And we have to do the first part of it first. Because when we seek to hold on to something in the past that has really outlived its usefulness to us, it really is complete, but we keep trying to resuscitate it in some way. You know what I mean? Or when our minds keep going to the past, let me just rework that relationship one more time to see if it could turn out differently, which it never does, okay? Or when we try to hold on to something that is really very complete, we have just that much energy less available for what it is to come. We have just that much energy unavailable to the good that we want to welcome in. And if you've not had a new beginning in some area of your life, I invite you to look and see if you are holding on to something that really needs to complete. There's an important statement: incomplete endings inhibit new beginnings. I'll say it again for you. Incomplete endings inhibit new beginnings. Let's say it together. Incomplete endings inhibit new beginnings. And in fact, there are only two things you need to realize today: that incomplete endings inhibit new beginnings, and the rest is still unwritten. Okay, so those are the two main things for you to understand. But there's something else about holding on to things that are really complete, and that is it becomes a veil over our ability to really see the deep change and transformation of our lives. When our attention is to the things that really need to be released, we are not seeing the depth of the transformation and the change that has been going on. So it is said that life is a journey, and if you think about it, we actually have two journeys going on simultaneously. The first journey is the outer one. It's your story from birth in this lifetime to whatever is next, and it's the story about going here and going there and doing this and doing that and accomplishing this, and the schools that you went to, and the businesses that you've had, or the work that you've done, and the marriages and the divorces, or whatever your version is of that. And it's the linear story from your birth time through now into the end of your life in this lifetime. And so that's the literal surface experience. But streaming underneath it is a deeper story and a deeper journey. It is really the journey that is all about the depth of your change and transformation. It's the story about how your life is changing you, how you're awakening, evolving, becoming richer, becoming deeper, knowing more, becoming a truer version of the true self that you actually are. And both of these journeys stream together. When we are holding on to something in the outer journey that really is complete and needs to be released, but we're still holding on to it, it keeps us from seeing the deeper process going on. Mark Nepo, who is a wonderful writer, said, "To journey without being changed is to be a nomad." To journey without being changed is to be a nomad. To change without journeying is to be a chameleon. And to journey and be transformed by the journey is to be a pilgrim. So to journey without being changed is to be a nomad. That sometimes we're on the journey, but we don't let it impact us and transform it. So basically, we're just a nomad wandering the face of the earth. To change without journeying is to be a chameleon. We used to say at Pacific Church, change your hair, change your life. You know? I've actually found that when I change, then my hair changes, and then my life changes. But anyway, when we're about changing all the superficial stuff, like that's going to make a difference, but we're not getting to the deeper transformation that's going on, we're just a chameleon. We're just changing colors all of the time. But to journey and to be transformed by the journey is to be a pilgrim. Our spiritual path is a pilgrimage. It is a sacred journey into the heart of life itself. It is a journey of going into the truth of who you are, and not only your oneness with Spirit, but your absolute identity as that which God is. And that is a sacred pilgrimage. Ernest Holmes, that Reverend Tammy mentioned, the founder of our movement, said that we're on this endless journey, and there are two parts to it. The first part, an endless journey, the work of which, first of all, is to allow more and more of the divine nature to be revealed in us. So we're here year after year to be more love, and to be more peace, and to be more freedom, and to be more joy, and to be more abundance, and all the other qualities of God that are escaping my mind in this moment. We are here to be that more and more clearly and effectively in our beingness and in our expression. And then he said, at the same time, we're spiraling up to greater and greater awareness that God is what we are. We're spiraling up to greater and greater awareness that God is what we are. And this is our journey in this lineage, in this pathway. Be more of the divine nature. Keep spiraling up to the awareness that you are the living presence of the living God. In fact, let's say that together. I am the living presence of the living God. Let's do it again. I am the living presence of the living God. That is the truth. And you have been so loved by life that you have been brought forth into being, to be the living presence of the living God. And so that's the deep practice. And so part of blessing what has been, blessing it and releasing it, is to be able to see the deep change that's been going on with you. And that requires that you let go of what no longer serves, that you remove the veil, that you face the fact that change has happened, and that every single thing has been grist for the mill of your awakening, and that who you are right now is a deeper, richer, more awake person, being than you have ever been. Yes? Yes, that's the truth I know about you. And it only happens if you let go. So I invite you to close your eyes for a moment for our first practice and direct your breath into your heart center. And let the inner self right there show you, remind you, because you know what it is, that needs to be released. Whether person, place, or thing, attitude, habit, pattern, addiction, grudge, regret, resentment. What have I forgotten? Any of those things. What was that? Jealousy. Yep, emotions. And let it come up, and I invite you to hold up your hands, palms facing out, and to say, I bless you and I release you. And again, I bless you and I release you. And again, I bless you and I release you. So we said that 3 times. You may need 300 times to say, I bless you and I release you. But every time you say it, let it be that less and less of your energy is involved with that thing, that you do, in fact, bless and release the people, the places, the things, the attitudes, the behaviors that no longer serve, and let it be done. And so it is. You can open your eyes. And at the same time, you want to acknowledge that you are a person who has grown, that you have become deeper, richer, more truly yourself, stronger, that you've come to a place where you can let go of that which no longer serves you, that which is not the truth of who you are, and that which will not allow you to be as open as possible to the great good that is on its way. So that's the first part of the work. The second part of the work for this day is to create yourself as a wide open space. Wide open space right now without content, but with great acceptance of great good. And to realize that you can arrive at this moment, at the threshold of a new year, absolutely open and available to what is possible for you and absolutely unscripted. Because the truth is, the rest of your life is still unwritten. The rest of your life is still unwritten. Last year at this time we were completing all of the 2012 stuff and the ending of the Mayan calendar. And one of the best explanations that I heard about the end of 2012 and the Mayan calendar was that it was the end of the written times. It was the end, in other words, it was the end of the times that were scripted, the end of the times that lived in prophecy. And I thought, I'm going with that idea, because I love that. Meaning that as a species on our planet, we are not conditioned to live out a prophecy anymore. That we can, as we choose, begin to generate change. That we can know something better, and we're experiencing horrendous consequences of what we've set loose on the planet. Nevertheless, there is an incredible opportunity for us to work the activity of change on our planet because the rest is still unwritten. We have the power to get together in agreement with each other over what is good and what is helpful to life on our planet instead of continuing to agree about what is so bad and wrong. Do you know what I mean? Because we love to do that. We have the energy to reverse it all, and that's what I believe. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And what I invite you to do, though, is to apply this to your personal life. That you stand at the beginning of an unscripted year, except as you write it the same way you always have. There is nothing in heaven or on earth that says that your life has to continue the way that it is if you don't like it that way. Even if you are in a circumstance or situation that is very fixed, you have the ability to change the being that you are inside of that situation. You have the ability to absolutely change. Wherever you have been and you haven't been, whatever you've done and you haven't done, so be it. But you stand at a place where there is an open opportunity to have something new take place for you as you choose to do it. The rest is still unwritten. One of the best things about our spiritual philosophy is this, as far as I'm concerned, is this understanding that as the living presence of the living God, the principle in you is unbound by anything that has come before. Ernest Holmes says, principle is not bound by precedent. That means that who you are is spirit, alive in each and every moment, and newness is possible. But what it takes is to actually be new, to not be the same person over and over again. We need better belief and better behavior. Transformed belief, transformed behavior. These are the ways that we work change. We are part of what's called the New Thought movement. And one way of understanding that is the New Thought movement means that anytime we choose, we may have a new thought about our life. Anytime you choose, you may have a new thought about what is possible for you. And if that new thought gets into the deeper truth of who you are above and beyond all circumstances and situations, if that new thought leads you to understand that you are an ageless, deathless, and immortal being, that you've been so loved by life you were brought into being, that you are whole, that who you are is who you truly are has been unhindered and untouched by anything that has ever taken place, and that you are here to live as the living presence of the living God. And when that kind of shift takes place, life begins to change. Life happens from the change of life happens from the inside out, not from the outside in. And so an incredible practice to do is to begin to build your awareness about the difference between your awareness in the present moment and all the stories your head makes up. The Buddhists call this mindfulness. When we actually take up a practice and spend time coming into the awareness of what is in the present moment, here and now, we start to feel the difference between that reality, which is the only true reality, and all of the stories that we run, and the habitual reactiveness that we have. It is that we think old stories and that we react in old ways that make the script from the past the script that we're living in the future. And you know, there was a very profound statement. The only difference between a rut and a grave is how deep it is. Woohoo! I guess that's the third thing you can remember. So I invite you to close your eyes. And just take a moment to feel your feet on the floor and feel your body in the chair. And if you can, scoot your bottom back against the chair so that you're actually sitting up straight. What a concept. And place your hands on your thighs. Slide your elbows back a little bit toward your body. Just feel centered in your physical beingness and take a breath into your physical body. And take a moment just being right now, right here. Feel how your body feels, with no need to shift it or change it, without analysis or judgment of any kind. Just feel the energy and the beingness of your physical body and whatever it is that you are aware of. And if you could describe how your body feels in one word right now, what would that word be? Let's hear some words. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great. Mm-hmm. Nice. Beautiful. And just breathe into your heart center now. Take a moment to feel how your heart feels. Just bring awareness to your heart. Is your heart open? Is it closed like a fist? Is it troubled about something? Is it available? Is it not available? Without any need to judge or change in any way, in one word, describe to yourself how your heart feels right now. Let's hear some words. Great, beautiful. I realize we're harvesting just the positive words, but you can be aware of your own word. Yeah. And shift your attention to your mind, to your thoughts. Breathe into your mind. See how your mind is right now. Is it filled with all kinds of thoughts? Are you leaping to the past or leaping ahead to the future? Are you wondering, when in the world is she going to stop? And what are we doing anyway? And I've got lunch plans. When am I going to get out of here? And just take a moment and see if you can just be peaceful with those thoughts. And if you could describe your mind in one word right now, what is that word? Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. So just take a moment to breathe, to be aware of those things on those three levels. See if you can expand your awareness to include the people on either side of you without any need to make them be different, to evaluate anything. Just feel the energy and the presence of the people on either side of you and those in front and in back of you. Just breathe for a moment in the awareness. And now expand your awareness to be the size of this entire room. And just hold all of the room in the embrace of your awareness. With no evaluation, just awareness, feeling here now. Me talking to you, you sitting out there, just as it is. I invite you to feel yourself as an open space of awareness without content, without redoing the past, without planning for the future. Just for a moment, suspend it all. Except for this one thing. In one word, acknowledge your highest aspiration or intention for 2014. Beautiful. Lovely. And let that be your North Star. Let that be your guiding light as you travel through the rest of this dark time into the light, and the time of the light. Feel yourself as an open space, welcoming good, undefined, limitless. Your high intention guiding you, filling you, informing your thoughts, informing your words, informing your behavior, so that over time you become the living intention, the living expression of your highest intention. And so I invite you to open your eyes. Nice that waited, huh? Get your bearings, okay? Please stand up. And please turn in this direction. We're going to do an honoring and a blessing of the directions of the Native American medicine wheel, which is a great way to honor the year that has completed. So right now we're standing in the east direction. It is the place of morning, M-O-R-N-I-N-G. It is the place of spring. It is the direction in which things are born. We honor that which has been born, that which has taken life, taken breath, begun in some way. And so I invite you to acknowledge that which began in your life this year. It might have just been a new sense of yourself, a greater faith in your relationship with Spirit. Perhaps there was a brand new relationship or a new business, a new idea, a new activity. But something good began. And so take a moment to honor that, to honor all the birthings that have ever been in your life. And placing your hands in prayer position, take a bow to the east. Coming back up. And please turn a quarter turn to the right. You're facing me now, but I'm going to keep facing you. This direction represents the summer. It is the south. It is the time and place where things grow to fullness, where something that was born grows. And so take a moment to feel into the growing that you've done this year, the growing of things in your life, and the growing within you at that deeper level. How you are evolving, how you are the most awake, the most alive, and the richest in terms of being that you have ever been. And so honor here the activity of things growing to fullness, maxing out, shining with expression. And take a bow to the south. Okay, and now a quarter turn to the right. This is the west direction. It is the fall. In the fall, we acknowledge, we harvest and we cut away. And so take a moment to experience and acknowledge the fruits of your labor this year. All of the things that you gave time and attention to, people, places, and things, a relationship that you nurtured, a child that you helped grow in awareness, a business that you supported, a church community that you served. Any way in which you have invested your time, take a moment to feel the fruit of that, the good that has come to you out of the way in which you planted seeds and grew something new. And with your right hand, imagine that you're scooping that up and bringing it to your heart. The other part of the fall is to cut away. We can only harvest something because we cut away what it has been on. And so with your left hand, just make a cutaway motion, letting go of what no longer serves you. Let go of the things that you know need to complete and bring your hand to your heart center. And take a bow to the west. And now 1/4 turn to the right. Standing in the north direction, it's the winter. This is the time that we are in now. So everything that you have harvested, the good that you have gained, is now going into the deeper soil of your being where it becomes wisdom. The image here is diamonds under the snow. This is where it's great to feel yourself as a wide open space, a vehicle or a vessel that Spirit will fill without trying to add in the content, not rushing to fill it at all. Let this wide open space begin to call in the good of the next round of life. Acknowledge the wisdom that you have gained this year. There's something that you know more profoundly than you ever have before. And so with that in your heart and your mind, take a bow to the north. And if you would please turn back toward me. And with your right arm, reach up, up, up to the cosmic reality. Just reach up. Just connecting with the infinite, invisible that is all life. And bring that light and that energy down to your heart center. And now reach down and touch Mother Earth, thanking her for being the provider and the source of all that we know and love. And bring that energy up into your heart center. And the last direction is within. Right there in your heart center, take a moment to honor yourself as a being who lived another year. Because not everyone can say that. A being who had the courage to live another year, to walk the path of awakening, to bring things into being, to watch them grow, to harvest the good, and to distill wisdom. For you are more marvelous than you have ever been. And so honor yourself in this moment. And once again, bring right into your heart center your highest aspiration or intention for 2014, that one word, your North Star, your guide. And with a nice deep breath, open your eyes, take a look around, see all of these other God beings with the light of high intention in their hearts. Nice, huh? All right. And so I just want to complete by saying that the book of your life is a really beautiful one. It's really a page turner. Very exciting. You've written many, 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 many chapters already. But I want you to know that the rest is still unwritten. And so write it for joy. And write it for freedom. And write it for peace. And write it for abundance. And most of all, write it for love. Thanks so much. Thank you. And thank you. Let's bring up Nathan and Janice.
Walked with me, footprints in the sand, and helped me understand where I'm going. You walked with me when I was all alone, with so much unknown along the way. Heard you say, I promise you I'm always there when your heart is filled with sorrow and despair. I'll carry you when you need
I see my light flash across the sky. So many times have I been so afraid. And just when I have thought I lost my way, you give me strength to carry on. That's when I heard you say, I promise you I'm always there when your heart is filled with sorrow and despair. I'll carry you when you leave. You'll find my footprints in the sand.
When I'm weary, I know you'll be there, and I can feel you when you say, I promise you I'm always there. When your heart is filled with sorrow and despair, I'll carry you when you need a friend. You'll find my footprints in the sand. I promise you that I'm always there when your heart is filled with sorrow and despair. When you need a friend, you'll find my footprints in the sand.
You'll find my footprints in the sand.
Amazing.
Thank you, Seaside. I love you guys. I do.
Woo! Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. Let's acknowledge them again. That was incredible. Thank you. I have the great honor and privilege to invite you to make a financial contribution to Seaside at this time. If you are here for the first time, your presence is a beautiful gift, but if you feel touched today, you may want to give something to support Seaside. Those of you who have been appreciating Seaside throughout this year, just take a moment to acknowledge how much you have been served here. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, Seaside is here being a place of love and light. That's powerful. And it's really important that we give to the people, places, and things that feed us spiritual food so that we help them stay alive in our life. And so if you're choosing to give today, please hold your gift in your hand. Take a moment to know that the life that you live is a life of abundance, that the good that you have in your life has come directly from the source, and that in releasing some of this to Seaside here today, you create an open space for mighty, mighty receiving. And so I do accept that flowing into the life of each person here is all that is wanted and needed for full and joyful expression. And giving thanks, I know this is done, and together we say, and so it is, amen. And would the ushers please come forward? And we have an affirmation. Are you ready? Let's say it together. Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Wonderful. Please begin. Oh, yes. Excuse me. Thank you. You know you're in heaven when there's jazz on a Sunday morning. Love it. All right. So let's take a thank you so much. So we just take a moment to bless these contributions, knowing that the giver is blessed and so is the receiver. Absolutely knowing that Seaside is supported in continuing to be a divine idea unfolding in time and space. And that as this good is received, so does Seaside continue to expand in its work of love and light. And so I give thanks for this, and I know this is done. And together we say, and so it is, amen. Thanks, Joanne.
And that is Joanne, our board member, helping us out today. Thank you. A special thank you to our band, Bob and Lynn and Pat and Tom. Thank you very much. How phenomenal our guest artists, Nathan and Janice. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Oh, they'll be back in 2 weeks. Make sure that you're here. Awesome. And Reverend Fran, thank you for your gift and all that you do for us and our music and our artistic. Thank you. And how awesome was she, huh? Welcome to Seaside. Thank you. Thank you. Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn.
Thank you.
Thank you to our audio and visual, Ed and Marv. Thank you. Thank you to our podcasting, Tim. Thank you to all of you for being here, our practitioners that hold the light, and everyone. Thank you. So a couple things I want to make you aware of. This week is New Year's, and on New Year's Eve, which is Tuesday, 7 o'clock, we are having a Burning Bowl, which is the release. Reverend Dr. Christina Tillotson heads that up. It actually is quite successful every year. It's an opportunity for you to come together, to remember the truth, to release those things through burning them in a beautiful bowl, to release them for this year. And then the very next day, on the 1st at 7 o'clock, which is a Wednesday, which is the Wednesday night service, Reverend Sunshine Day will be leading us all in a visioning to where we take the opportunity to get still, to be called into that infinite and to open and to hear and receive what the divine has in store for us this coming year. So that's on Wednesday. So if you're available, I invite you to come to both Tuesday and Wednesday to release and to receive. Great thing to do. As Bill mentioned and Cindy, that we have the Real Love workshop coming up this coming Saturday for the leaders and those that will be helping in the leadership aspect of that. And then what they didn't mention is that on the 19th, we're going to be having a movie, and it's invited all for everyone to come to find out about Real Love, because it's going to be something that we're focused on at Seaside all year long. So there'll be a movie and all kinds of great things that are happening on the 19th. So put Real Love into your January, because it's going to be a great time. Also, it's class time again. Classes are incredible. The reason classes are so powerful is because we know that which we focus on expands. And through classes, we put our attention and awareness all week long, not only at our services, but all week long as we do our reading and as we do class time and we do our contemplation on this spiritual truth. They say when people are in classes, life really rolls and really works. So you'll find your catalog in your book, in your program today. If you're new, Reverend Christian, our spiritual leader, is teaching the foundations class. It's the very beginning class of religious science, and it's an opportunity to get to know these principles. It's a life-changing class, so sign up for that. If you've already taken the foundation class, I'm going to be teaching the level 2 class, the next class, which is Power of Your Word, and it's about aligning yourself with utilizing the words that you want manifested and in prayer. So come be part of that. There's also a ton of other classes that are part of or that are in here. So anything that you feel is perfect for your life right now, come be part of classes and watch your life reflect that good. We invite you to be part of that. But right now we're going to do what we love to do, and that is to pray. Today is the last Sunday of the month. On the last Sunday of the month, I'd like to invite the practitioners up. As a gift, the practitioners come forth and they pray with you. It's an opportunity for you to remember the truth, to have an individual prayer. So after the service, after we're done, Reverend Kathy will be in the back, but the practitioners will be here available for prayer. So please get prayed up. I love the saying that we always say in our ordination, that if you don't have time, no, what's it say?
Oh,
if
a
you
minister is too busy to pray is a great deal busier than God ever intended her to be.
Right. So that's it.
Yeah.
What she said. So anyways,
that'd be the truth.
I'm going to invite her to come forth and pray with us at this time.
All right, why don't you stand up and grab some hands and... I meant your neighbor's hands, of course, not your own. Let's just pause for a moment before we relaunch back into our lives, our busy, busy lives. Just taking one more moment for mindful awareness, just feeling the energy of the room, the warmth of the hands that you're holding, the love that is in your heart, and the blessings of Spirit upon you. And so I give thanks for all that we've experienced together today. So grateful for the prayers and the music, for all of the words, for everything that is being realized and released and known and lived, calling it all good. Knowing absolutely that Spirit meets, guides, and directs every step each one of us takes as we surrender into how good it truly can be. And so I accept for all of us a blessed and brand new year, a year that is truly new, because we are. And so I give thanks for this. I know it is done, and together we say, and so it is, amen. And we're singing, okay, and then the affirmation, okay.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I did not know the grace of God was sufficient. I did not know the love of God was at hand. And now I can say, if you are discouraged and trying to make it through just one more day, you gotta let it go, let it all go. This is what we have to say. Come on. I release and I let go. I I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit, only here for God. You know that I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. Heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. And there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Now, Seaside, y'all take one.
You know there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here. For God.
All right, we have an affirmation to do together. Say it like you mean it. Here we go. I stand at the threshold of a new year, blessing all that has been. I open my heart to fully receive the good that is now and the even greater good that is coming into my experience. I go forward into this new year accepting peace, freedom, joy, and love for myself and all beings everywhere. And so it is.
I'm living in love, I'm living in peace, I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears, in this world I walk, God's grace shines on me, well it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me and it moves through us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in